Hey guys, this is Josh and welcome back to another episode. And I'm sorry it's been so long already because I was been busy at the time of doing some. I know a lot of people says about like stay home already because of the coronavirus thing. Well, true, but I got some outdoor work to do. So if any of you guys were watching out there, I am definitely do this for my job because I didn't come up with the idea. It was just coming from my boss already, who just tells me, tells everyone in my jobs already. It tells me we already can just like not come into come into the bay and heading to the truck. Not just that, because normally we have a change of plan. If you have like a vehicle or something, you can definitely drive cars anytime you want to, but it's not just like real life racing or something like that. We'll just go to like any places we want to, like shopping centers, video game stores, or anything you want to buy. It's up to you. But I wouldn't recommend just like buying toilet papers, because no. I don't want to be any of those people who would buy those toilet papers for that. So what you see here, it was my manufacturer series where I got my very first 200 plus points against Razor, because myself and Razor, we became good friends in the league racing. Like when we just racing in the league racing where we're normally at. Yeah. So normally I was riding the Toyota. I know Toyota Group 4s aren't good in the straight lines, because all I know already, because I chose Toyota for no reasons, because I representing Toyota, because I got the Toyota car and that got me good. But then when it comes to the Toyota Group 4, which is the Toyota 86 Group 4, aren't good in the straight line speed, but I just prove everyone how good I am with Toyota. So as you can see here through the thing right here, no name corner, got a good run, and I used a slipstream to the Lexus of Razor, and myself and Razor, we haven't even battled together since we were just doing league racing. But right now we're doing it in the FIA race for the first time ever. If any of you guys who have raced with me in the league racing and raced with me in the FIA race, I want to know how did you do in the FIA race and not league racing. For me, it was actually a fantastic day for me, like getting in the top 5 finish. It was a close finish. It's like 0.1 of a second faster for that. So now here we are for this one. So we're doing the we're gonna do a change of plan already, because we're not doing like rounds or something for that. We're just doing this thing that's like road to the FIA Gran Turismo World Tour / Finals. I'm not sure, because I feel like it's a good time already for me, just like being a trying to be a top esports Gran Turismo driver. And that's what I want to do. And as you can see here, my gamer tag was Makozy Banana Josh. But here's the thing: if you check out Makozy's YouTube channel, which will be in the description, I'll put the in the description down below for that. You know why? Because I have chat with Cody Nikola Lukonski, and he asked me to remove the gamer tag at Makozy just before, like, after the Nations Cup has come to an end already. And I have to admit, that's because I've done some, like, wrong things already to any other players, so I am sorry. So, as you can see here, myself and Metal Gear, we're side by side together. It's just like, I want to face Metal Gear in the race, as long as I'm not going to be like the next Daniel Earnhardt or something else who took someone out already. So anyway, here's one of my best laps in qualifying. This is the Nations Cup. We're at Brands Hatch GP circuit. Normally we have those Brands Hatch circuits when it was the Formula 1 calendar, which is the European Grand Prix. So here we go, down to turn 1. It's pretty much easy already. Don't cut the corner, or otherwise you may get a penalty, or go too wide and you will be into the gravel trap and you spun yourself out. Turn 2 is pretty easy. Just hug it in to the hairpin there. Turn 3, just hit before, just brake before you hit, just on timing when you hit the curbs. It was pretty fine already. Then, just before you nearly hitting the second ball out for this one, goes second gear, and then you go along down already, go downhill under the bridge, and then you're only going to brake a little bit slightly, so just like this, and then just go full out with a send, and then brake here to just before you hit the final board of a braking, and then as you can see, Metal Gear just sliding around right behind me, and then you're going to brake here. This is the trickiest part. If you're pretty much a new to the Brands Hatch circuits and you basically brake there and miss the apex, you will literally go off the circuit and down your dough for that. So into the final corner you go. 4th gear is pretty much the fastest corner you do, but Metal Gear is using the Audi R8 Grid 3, and we've got a 123.4, which is not bad, which I'll take it. It is alright for that. So here we go, we got the Nations Cup intro, which I know some of those memes already was coming from the Super GT. So nice one, Super GT. I know what you did there. So anyway, let's just watch the intro there, and I was just noticed already how cool those intros were. As if you were in the World Tour event or the World Finals, you have those different intros already. So it was just set like the 2019 or 2020 series. You have some of those like World Tour or the World Finals for that. So as you can see here, we're at the grid, and as you can see here, the Porsche got on pole, which is driving is, just checking this one, here we go, is Emery on pole position, and I just noticed already is Emily Jones, so I'll give her a shout out. So then is Bulky 50, so got that right already. Then is GTR Nismo, one I raced with, was in the Manufacturer Series that I just raced with him. There's JCD, then Metal Gear in 5th, one of the badass drivers already. Then is GDTC 328. Then is Barters, another great guy already that I raced with. And there's IMAS, also another one of great guys already who I raced with. Then there's I2BH 8 did. I never raced with him for that. And here I am, we're starting in 10th place. Only like 1.2 seconds slower than Emily Jones's fastest pole lap. There's Fishman, when we raced him. Then Corey in 12th using the Mercedes MG. Then it's Alf, one of my great friends already that we raced together in any Nations Cup or Manufacturer Series. Then there's Adam, not Adam 2167, that's a different Adam. That's Rosmo, one of my chapter friends already that we just raced together for some reasons. Then there's Newton in 16th. Then is Sakuro in 17th. Yeah. Then Luck Goes My Way in 18th. Then in 19th is Oil in My Blood. And I think, yep, that is 19 drivers who are in this Brands Hatch Nations Cup race. So the pretty much already that I've chose already was Renault, and I used the good old-fashioned Renault livery. So why not? I'm doing representing the Renault F1 livery around Brands Hatch on GT Sports. So we're getting ready for a countdown for 2, 1, and away we go for the second round of the Brands Hatch GP. Pretty much not a bad start. Across the line we go. We're about to start the lap around Brands Hatch. One of them goes wide. This is the Mercedes right in front of me. Is lost control, but he caught that, and we continue racing already. Everyone just go slipstreaming for the top splits. But if you're like a new to the scene for this one, and you basically got no idea for this one, you just literally just bump everyone off for that. As you can see, a driver in front of me has got a half a tenth penalty for I think it was running wide. It says exceeding track limits. I know it's BS way, but you had to deal with it because I actually recorded this on the second round of the pre-seasons. I've done like many nations / manufacturer series in the race without even uploading the video, so I do apologize. But the Fishman running behind me is actually catching up. I'm potentially struggling on those medium tires. For no reason already, I'm always struggling with those medium tires. And then we finally catch up to Imos, who lost the back end but caught it into... He got lucky in the exit of the second corner. Was so close that he almost took himself out. But we kept behind him. Nothing goes to hell. That Emery Ree, which is also known as Emily Jones, and Metal Gear were actually going to pull away from the mid pack already. And when I say mid pack, we are the mid pack from the top splits. I'm trying to breathe in for this one. I'm just struggling because my nose is trying to pop out more for that. But anyway, let's just continue on for this one. We're cut into the fourth lap of the race. I am struggling, and Fishman, on the other hand, is in my slipstream, and I have no reason why or what on earth is he doing. He's basically using the slipstreams because I'm struggling, and the reason why I'm struggling, I am struggling with those medium tires, not on the softs, not on the hards, but the medium tires. I'm literally struggling. Soft tires I don't feel struggles when I'm in driving with Renault, and hard tires I do struggle a little bit. And look at this, GTR Nismo spun out, and I think it was clipped it on the grass and spun himself out. So that's him gone, and we'll move up to one position, up to 8th place, and we're coming in on lap 6. Coming in to get rid of those medium tires. Remember, you had to use the all tire compounds, which are softs, mediums, and hards. I go on mediums, hards, and then softs to the end. But on the first stop, I normally refuel my car until the second and final stop. No refueling, just straight to the end. So here we go. We're rejoining in 13th position, just right behind some of those guys who haven't even made a stop. That is, I think that is Rosmo, Oil in My Blood, and Corey. They are literally right behind me, and I think they're on hard tires. I'm on the fresh hard tires, and I got Alf and I got GTR Nismo right behind me. As you can see here, Corey has been passed by Oil in My Blood. I know there's oil in my blood because they need some oil in their own body to do it. And passing Corey for, I think it was 9th place, I noticed. Yep, 9th place on the board, but I literally run wide, like I noticed already when I said it before that. And if you guys pretty much new here and you missed the apex, you literally gotta run wide, and you will go off the circuit, and you'll lose the gaps, and you'll lose your times. And that's the biggest problem already for this one. So you can see here, Alf and GTR Nismo both tag to each other at the exit of turn 2, and then we go to turn 3. I join in the controversy for going into 8th place. Audi versus Porsche, and look at, I literally flashing my lights that says stop squeezing me off to the track, and I lost control, caught that. It's almost on the one of the NASCAR saves for that, but we still continue. Not even a major damage, just we're still continued. And GTR Nismo wants to pass Alf, but there was no room already to go for the overtake. There's just literally no space to go for the overtake, and the only thing you can do for the overtake is the first, final, the second, third, fourth, the penultimate, and the final corner. That's the overtaking opportunity that you may want to go with already. And here we go. As I noticed already, the final corner, we go down the inside of GTR Nismo and get into 9th place because GTR Nismo brakes early and he has to come in for a bit of a tire change. And that's a good thing because tire wear starts to kick in to every other like manufacturers or something else already. And then Alf lost control, clipped on the grass, and off she goes already. Not she, but it's the car, not not the person. It's a car. And now, as I know where I talk too much, right, there goes Rosmo passing me for, I think it was 5th place for the top 5. Oil My Blood hasn't even made the stop because we had to come in on lap 11 to go to the soft tires to the end. But Rosmo comes in with me, and I had to notice I'm going on softs to the end, and I don't need to refuel my car. I already refueled it on the first stop, so it's just sprint to the end for me. So I got enough fuel, I got enough everything, and we're literally ahead of GT on this boat, but there was carnage right in front of me, and we literally got passed by GT on Nismo into 2nd turn, and we literally got thanks by those 2 mudheads who literally just cost me to lose one position. That was like these 2 who literally just was lost control at the exit of turn 1, and then just like no chance of rate. Metal Gear has actually come in with only 1% fuel remaining, but he has to go on hards till the end. But I think Emery have already made a stop. I'm not sure. I haven't even checked about Emery stops. I normally check mine because I normally check my stops because this is only me like racing with some of the guys who I never or ever race with already. So we're right behind GT on Nismo for 6th place. Just need to get my water for a moment. And there we go. Emery is coming in, and she is putting on her hards, and just got ahead of Daniel Holland, was also known as Metal Gear, or Holder1 was the YouTube channel, which everyone says he's a badass driver, which I have to agree. He is a badass driver. And we're catching up to GT on Nismo for 6th place. He clipped the grass, caught that, but I managed to stay behind him until that moment right here. So this is where it was definitely my fault. So we're coming towards that corner, which is not technically the incident for that corner. I got a good run, but going down the inside, I was gonna turn, but I was slightly to the right, but I literally just took him out. So I'm sorry, GT on Nismo for that one. So it was all me. It was all me. So I'm sorry. So luckily, we both talked to each other, and I apologized to him, and he accepted my apology. So here's the replay of it. So as you can see here, he lost his run coming out of the exit, and then I got a good run side by side. I went slightly to the right. I wasn't go fully right because I was planning to go fully right, and then I lost one position. That is GDTC for 6th place, and then after a few laps later, we're right behind him for 6th place, and then everything goes to chaotic moments already. So we're going towards 5th place, because 5th place has actually got 199 points. It was almost a 200 plus points, which I was going to, but I need like top 4 to get into the 200 plus points, but unfortunately it's too far for me. So we're onto the exit of the final corner to start the final lap. Emery is leading from Metal Gear, and then I think it was Bocky in 3rd place. Then Imos is in 4th, and then you got clipped the grass in turn 1, just the apex at turn 1, and then I lost control, but caught that, but no lost gaps already. But just keep an eye on him as a slipstream already. And this is the battle for 5th place on the last lap. This is 3 different manufacturers who are fighting, and this is not the manufacturers. This is definitely the Nations Cup. And when I say Nations Cup, that's the Nations Cup. So coming towards the next corner, which is definitely the craziest one ever of this one. Here it goes. The Mercedes is trying to pass the BMW, but I think the BMW in 5th place is conserving fuel, which I noticed already. Well, I didn't know according to the race when we were just racing, and the BMW actually taxed the Mercedes and forced the Mercedes off the track. And like I noticed already, and no one ever told me about like conserving fuel. When you conserve fuel, you go to like 6 or something to conserve fuel, and then on the final corner, we're literally gonna go to 6th place, but I got tagged. But it was like, what are you doing? Are you braked already? And it says, oh wait, oh you ran out of fuel. And then I got 5th place, passing the BMW driver for 5th place. And I think that will be it for the episode already. So I'm going to be showing you the results. So as you can see here, I'm just 1st in WA, 11th in Australia, and 12th in the Oceania regions. One of my greatest moments of all time. At the end of round 2, I was 1st at everything. So if you guys enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you're new to my channel, and I'll see you next time for the brand new video or some more FIA Gran Turismo World Tour events. Peace, guys.